Hey, corn. All right, it is. Who's that? Somebody says, where'd you get the songs? What I do is, hi guys, I go to Spotify. On Spotify, they have a catalog that is called non-copyrighted music. They say this, but the other day I got a notification on my post that the song I had used was sort of flagged in other countries, could not be heard in other countries. Because, Facebook will flag you if you just blatantly play copyrighted music. I'm still trying to work that out because, sometimes I feel I've got it and other times I don't. So to answer your question, I use Spotify and I go to this catalog or category that's called non-copyrighted music. And I do that. So guys, let's get into it real quick. Got a couple of things I'd like to talk to you about. Please, first of all, tell me if this broadcast is clear so that we can get the show on the road. A few comments from you guys. Smooth intros. Oh, here it is. Who's this? This is Shadrach. Is it Shadrach? Thank you. Smooth intro. I'm here to listen. Good. Thank you. Thank you so much. Somebody says clear. Good. I'm glad. Well, guys, let's hop on here real quick and see if we can get the show on the proverbial road. I just as a preamble, let me say something that I was earlier today. I was at a traffic stop and I glanced down at my phone as I drive. And sometimes that's not always the smartest thing to do. It's out of habit more than anything else. And I was scrolling through and I came across this feed. There's a lady, I don't know her name. It's a Zambian woman. And I think she has made her intention clear. She wants to run for the mayor of this city. Now, let's be clear. Anyone is welcome to do that. As long as you're a Zambian, you're qualified, you can run for mayor of any city. However, if the vehicle that you're trying to jump on to get you to the mayorship is laden with illegalities, is laden with the wrong thing, then your vehicle is not the right vehicle. I'll explain what I'm talking about. This lady blatantly said, when I become mayor, meaning her, when she becomes the mayor of Lusaka, the very first thing that she's going to do is to make sure that street vendors are allowed to do whatever they want to do on the street. She said, according to her, street vendors are business people. According to her, street vendors are just trying to make a living. And who are we to stop them from making a living? What she doesn't realize is that, and the reason I say she doesn't realize this is because if she did realize it, she wouldn't say things like that. What she neglects, what she deliberately ignores, is that as far as our statutes are concerned, as far as our books of law are concerned, the law is very clear in this country. Street vending is illegal. Even though it does take place, it is illegal. From a legal statutory point of view, it's illegal. So any candidate that runs on this idea that they can pander to a sect of the electorate And in their minds, they think, well, if I pander, if I become goody goody with this sector of the electorate, then I will be ushered into office. That is the most stupid approach I have ever heard in my life. And you can actually tell from the lingo, guys, let's recognize people. Let's be media smart. When people say things for the sole purpose of being elected, don't vote for such people. Don't vote for people that are clearly in it to win it. Don't vote for people that are clearly looking at the position of mayor so that it gives them the perks that they're looking for. I mean, that's all it is. This lady, there is not a patriotic bone in this woman's body. There is not a desire of functionality in this woman's body. The only thing that she's concerned about is to pander to a sect of people that she thinks in her mind will usher her to the mayorship. Shallow thinking. If she knew the real topography of this city, she would realize that street vendors only comprise close to 4,000 people in this entire city of 4 million residents. So she's basically trying to schmooze, the word schmooze? She's trying to hobnob, she's trying to rub shoulders with a minute electorate, a minute infinitesimal sector in an entire city of 4 million people. That's how shallow some of these candidates are. And it just behooves me. It really does. And I wish I knew her name. I would have called it. I just heard her say it in passing. And the moment I hear things like that, I just put a line through their names instead of under it. Tell me what you think about that. Did y'all hear that? Tell me if you heard that. Tell me. Oh, somebody's asking me, are you going to run for mayor? Oh, I'm going to announce whether or not I will run on the 27th. Okay. Did you catch that? Did you hear that? On the 27th of February, which is, I think, next week, I will announce whether or not I will run for mayor of this city to answer this question. And those questions will be answered on the 27th. And I'll just leave it at that. Somebody says, yeah, it's ridiculous. It's insane. Hey, Mwinga, thank you so much. Thank you, Mwinga. So good to have you. All right, guys, let's get into it. National values. As you know, the Republican president was just a few moments ago, he was in Parliament addressing members of Parliament and giving them a report on the state of our national values. Now, there are many things that the president said. There's a whole bunch of things that the president addressed and he talked about. Of course, I'm not going to dissect every single one of those things that he mentioned. I will highlight one or two things that I feel are very important. They're important to me, and I think they should be important to you. Everything he said was important, but in terms of highlighting certain points, these points were important to me. Now, in order for us to understand this issue of national values, you must first of all understand what it is, basically. And this is what it is. National values and principles in Zambia enshrined in Article 8 of the amended Constitution of 2016 provide a moral compass, and this is key, a moral compass for national conduct and policy. Moral compass. You know what that is? Moral compass, a sense of right and wrong, a sense of who we are as a people. National values. I'll give you an example. In Japan, one of the greatest civilizations on the on the planet. I tell you, the Japanese people are cut from a different cloth because the Japanese people have enshrined in their way of life a philosophy that talks about community, cohesiveness, what's good for the community. I mean, their personal hygiene skills and love for environment are they're off the charts. It's incredible. And do you know how they got to be that way? Because they are all on the same page. You ever see Japanese people going to work in the morning? They all walk in one direction. If there's a section of a building that houses a train or buses, and everybody knows that, well, for us to jump on this train, the train is that way, everyone walks in the same direction. It's got nothing to do with being an automaton. It's got nothing to do with being brainwashed. It has everything to do with being on the same page for the good of society and community. It's the most incredible thing. And they didn't get that way through osmosis. The Japanese did not get that way through spontaneous combustion. They got there through methodical teaching. They got there through inculcating this idea that we are all on the same page and we have one objective. In as far as cleanliness is concerned, they're all on the same page. But if you got a bunch of people running around, you know, this one says throw it in the bin, and this one says, but why only wood? This one says, no, take that trash home with you until you find a bin. And then this other one says, yeah, but I'm in town. There's no dustbin here. So what do you want me to do? It's going to take a long time. So I want to focus a little bit on something the president mentioned. And I'm so glad he mentioned it. I'm so glad he sort of, you know, he made reference to it. And I loved that he showed frustration. I love that because that's how we all should feel. All of us should feel frustrated about the issue of cleanliness. Zambians to the Bafiko. I will tell you, for people that live in Salama Park, and if you live in Salama Park, tell me in the comments if you live, and this is just an example, okay? I'm only fishing out Salama Park because it just recently flooded. This happens everywhere, but in particular, Salama Park, because it is one of the most stark examples of a community that doesn't care about the way they live. And I'm not talking about Salama Park alone, because in every residential area, it's the communities that live within the periphery that are also to blame for things that are going on in that area. So tell me in the comments, first of all, I'd like to hear if there's anyone watching me now that lives in the Salama Park area. Tell me. Tell me in the comments if you live there, because if you live there, you're going to know what I'm talking about. You're going to know, you're going to have a firsthand experience about what I'm talking about. Pamela Fontaine. Hey, Pamela Fontaine. Yeah. Andre Rich says, when you said that the current mayor, what was it? When you say it, the current mayor claims you're sexist. Now, even the president has said it. The city is dirty. Yes, city's filthy. Filthy, filthy, filthy. Tell me if you're from the Salama Park area, because I'm about to share something with you. You know, the people in Salama Park, there's an area on the outskirts of Salama called Maplot. This is it's a compound. In South Africa, they call them townships. The people in Maplot, do you know how they get rid of their garbage? It is the saddest, most shocking thing that you will ever come across. And when I tell it to you, you won't believe it. You're going to say, no, that people don't live like that. People don't do that. I mean, when I tell it to you, it's going to mess you up. It's going to make you lose faith in humanity. Honestly, really. The people in Maplot, the way they get rid of garbage is that they stuff their garbage in sacks. When it rains heavily and there's a flood, they take their garbage and they throw the garbage into the drainage system that is flowing full of water. In their minds, the water is taking away the garbage. Oh, we've got a problem. I want that to sink in for a moment. Oh, I want that to marinate in your soul. I want it to bubble in your oblongata. Think of that for a moment. Think of it, that there are people in our society in 2026 that honestly think that when they take their garbage and throw it into an open drainage system that is full of flowing water, in their minds, the water is taking away the garbage. My Lord, God help us. God help this nation. Give us men and women that will go beyond the call of duty and do everything within their power to not only sensitize a community, but enforce the law. My goodness. Where do you even begin with people like that? Where are you going to begin with people like that? Mwalambila pesa. Bantu, it's not just my plots. There are communities. Name them. Chainda, Kanyama. Name them. We have an army of Zambians that believe. Just get your garbage. When it floods, throw your garbage in the open drainage system. That flooding water is going to take your garbage away. My Lord. My Lord. The president said there's a problem. Now, in order to deal with this problem, Vane, it's not going to happen through platitudes. It's not going to happen through you and I just talking about it. As I said in my other video, the laws in this country are very clear. The only problem is we don't enforce them. This is the reason we should not vote for people like this woman running for mayor who says, no, me, when I become mayor, all the street vendors will come onto the street. Because the truth is, it is impossible to have a clean CBD with street vendors. Street vendors, traders, belong in the markets. In the markets where they have access to clean water. In the markets where they have access to toilets. In the markets where they pay their stipend to the council. They pay a rent to the council. In the markets where they are not exposed to the elements when it rains. In the markets. I mean, this is there. It's simple. But it has to be enforced. And I keep telling you, local government, the issue of council police, you can't have 100. Do you know the number of council police that are tasked with keeping order in the CBD, in the city? Do you know the number? 105. A paltry number. 105. And the vast majority of these council police don't even believe in the work that they do. They don't. They are not proselytized. They don't believe in the work that they do. They don't. The word of God says, come out from among them. You are cut from a different cloth. You have a job to do. It's not your place as counsel to say, no, manje ngatoapisa vazaenda kuti. Manje apa ngavatoachosa patiza vazaenda kuti. Vazadyacha apa ngavachoka pop. Well, then you're not the right person for the job. You can't do the job. You are incompetent. So here it is. I'm so thankful that the president made reference to that. And I'm hoping that that'll gain traction because, you know, we're living in a country and it shouldn't be this way. It shouldn't be this way. It shouldn't always be the president saying things in order for the wheels to turn. Oh, that's a deep one. Let me say that again because I think that's important. We shouldn't live in a society where things will only move when the president makes mention. Because the roadmap is already there. It's great that the president makes reference to it. It's great, it's fantastic. But that's not the solution. Because the roadmap already exists. The only thing remaining is enforcement and implementation. Winga says, you came to mind as soon as he mentioned it. Thank you. Somebody says, I've witnessed what you're saying. It's sad. It really is sad. You know, in relation to national values, did you come across this story? Have you heard this story? This is a sad story. Two brothers in Chadiza have vanished from the sight of the public after burying their 80-year-old grandmother. They buried her alive. Didn't even kill her. They buried her alive. For allegedly using witchcraft to cause death in the family and bewitching their sister. Do you know where this comes from? I want you to tell me, because from a normal human interaction point of view, when you read such stories, the first thing that you would ask is, what would the motive be? What would the motive be for two, here it is, here's the story, for two brothers to bury their grandmother, the mother of one of their parents, to bury their grandmother alive based on the allegation that the grandmother was a witch doctor or a witch? Who told them that? Tell me in the comments if you know. I know. I just want to know if you know. Tell me who told them that. Where did they get that information? Yes, this is one of the answers. It's two people that do this sort of thing. Yes, papas, and these people that call themselves witch doctors. When people go to these, and this is the reason I tell you that these people are so dangerous. We make a mistake when we think that they are harmless. These banners, these signs you see in the CBD. The other day, I called up one of the people at Lusaka City Council. I said, Lusaka City Council, there are more than 200 illegal billboards in this city. And on top of that, you've got these chaps who call themselves witch doctors, who illegally erect signs everywhere. You don't approach them because your council police are afraid to touch those cloths. The same council police who are tasked with the job of removing those things, the numbers are there. I mean, the numbers are there. Dr. Choko from Malawi, he can bring back lost loved ones. He can make you pass exams. He can get you a visa for America. He tells you that no, you won't go there for Kuatempia, Lala na Antoine, umwana obe. Go and have carnal knowledge of your daughter. And then the money, the wealth will come. If you want this, when you go to these so-called witch doctors, they ask you, who is someone in your family hates you? I think it's your grandmother. Your grandmother is a witch. Go and unalive them. And because you're so shallow-minded, because you're so tepid in your brain capacity, you go and do it. Those two boys now are on the run. When they are caught by the police, and mark my words, they will be caught. And when this case goes to court and they're asked, why did you do this? Why would you bury your grandmother alive? You will discover very quickly that they had gone to some witch doctor who told them that no, the issues in your family are because of this one. The same thing papas do. These crazy papas, these church papas, oh, they're insane. They'll simply say, no, I think the problem in your family is your aunt. Your aunt hates you. Your aunt hates you. Your auntie, she hates you. You go home and you have an attitude towards your aunt. Why? Because some guy who calls himself a witch doctor, which really he's just a scammer, has told you something that doesn't exist. It's insane. It really is insane. And something has to be done. Our national values are being eroded as a people. It's incredible. Even something as basic as this, respect for elders. You know, when you say this, people look at you like you're nuts. And I'm so proud of my parents for this. My parents did it with us. We do it with our children, and we know our children are going to do it to their children. Inculcating a sense of respect for elders. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. You got these kids running around now calling people, you are chifaza, you chifaza, chifaza. And you think that's funny. It's not funny. It is an erosion of our national values as a people, the sense of who we are, the essence of who we are as a people is being eroded. And we're looking at it in real time. HD 4K. It behooves me. It baffles me. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.